What you doing out there, Magnum? You cold? You're cold? That's a good boy. Where did it go? Okay, that's enough. Move. Stop. Move. Okay, well, I'm not going to bore you with loading up the shelves there. We do have a lot of stuff to bring out from the garage and the barn. Other stuff we've also moved in here, a lot of supplies, hardware, fasteners, nails, screws, all that kind of stuff. Lots of tools too, but this is going to be the woodworking half of the shop. Where the radial arm is, it's going to be, like I've already stated, 15 by 30 over here. I've kind of getting some stuff moved in. My wife and I emptied our last storage unit, which had, I think I've mentioned in a previous video, or opened up those crates and showed you what was in there. We brought a lot of other projects home. This little miniature drill press is a working drill press, but I have a couple of 612 surface grinders here that are projects. The two-stage 80-gallon air compressor I have to put back together. It's going to go in that corner. That's where the service panel is going to go over there. Just lots of stuff. If you've ever moved, you know what it's like. And we haven't moved for a long time, so. Got some projects here. Lots of projects. Did get the overhead door put on not too long ago. No windows, just a solid door. It's a 9-foot high with 10-foot ceilings. You just use shorter panels so it would make the turn up the track there, but I have to have gutters put on. They're going to be coming next week. And then I have this drain tile I got to connect the downspouts to and run it down the hill here towards the creek. Heavy. You know, I own this tractor over here, but it needs some repairs I just haven't gotten to yet. And I have several hoists, winches. You think I'd have something set up to move these benches around? This is the beginnings of getting a shop set up, so it's touch and go, and pick your battles as you go along. So this is the last bench just to assemble. These were some really long benches. I don't know, they were 10, 12, 16 feet. I don't remember how long they were. They had 3 sets of legs under them. And we had gotten them all for free. This factory was, this warehouse was giving them away. They just wanted them gone kind of thing. So I'm learning that the hole pattern in some of these on the top is different. And I had actually had the tops marked to the legs, and it was such a long time ago, I don't remember those being my markings, so I was just putting things together, having to drill new holes for the 2 center holes. I was using six of the holes. So yeah, I had some extra work there. If I just would have slowed down a little bit and looked things over, probably wouldn't have had to do any of that drilling. This is the last bench. You just got to put a shelf on it on the bottom of the legs to give it some stability, and then decide where these benches are going to go throughout the shop building here. Fine, gotta get that. Fine tool. Metal, seed, and fire. It's only about a third is left of this pile. This all came out from along the fence back here, and we just sprayed it for ticks, and then we started the fire. And Magnum's looking for trespassers and whatever. Aren't you, Magnum? Huh. Well, this is what it looks like after moving the stuff in, some things in from the barn. I haven't really moved anything in from the garage yet, which is just packed full of shop stuff, machines and whatnot. I've just been bringing stuff from the garage as I need it to do what I'm doing. Today I put together several benches. Put this, what they call a foreman's desk or a shipper's desk that Melody and I picked up. Attach that to the wall. and just kind of straightened up afterwards. This crate is full of vices and anvils and stuff. That's full of tractor parts. That's it. Now heading down to the fire. So I got this side, the foundation sealed, and this was my main concern. I had a gutter guy lined up to come out, a guy I was talking to anyway, and he just kept making excuses and never could get out here. So in the meantime, we were getting rain and it was starting to wash soil down here, and I eventually was getting some water in one spot on top of the floor in the shop, about 12 feet from this corner, so down there. I assume it was getting in between the footing and the wall that's sitting on top of the footing. So got that sealed. I am gonna seal this side as well over here. Just don't want to work in the sun right now. It should be shady soon though. I'll get that side done. Some other gutter guys are supposed to be here this week, so I'll get some gutters put on. Gonna put 2 downspouts near this end, one about a third from this corner, and one at the corner, of course. Same thing on the front. So I don't want any water going towards the house. The shop is up higher than the house. And our septic is in between the shop and the house, so I don't want any water getting down and around and in there, because it could rain pretty hard sometimes there. So, and the ground's on a little pitch this way, lower here at this corner, higher towards the center of the wall, so that's why I sealed it on an angle like that. So around here, there'll be a downspout to the left of the overhead door by that garbage can, and then another downspout over here. And then the water is going to go get directed down the hill. So I'm just trying to stay ahead of the gutter guys at this point by getting that sealed up. And I'll get my drain pipe and fittings laid out where they can connect the downspouts to. And I'll probably put possibly a French drain behind there and run that next to a corrugated, a solid corrugated that the gutters are connected to. Because the ground, all that ground next door, my neighbors, is pitched towards the shop. And when it was raining hard, it was literally running off his property, the neighbor's property, down towards the shop here. And I was out here digging a trench by hand to direct the water down alongside the shop and down the hill. So I'll probably put a French drain. And they make these ready-made French drains. Just a piece of corrugated pipe with a sock around it with some aggregate that looks like packing peanuts or something. I didn't look at it real closely, but I'll just put that near this corner of the building, because you can see that little trench there. That's where the water is running down off my neighbor's property, down to this corner right here and down alongside the building. Keeping after it. This is some of the handiwork of the people who put the garage door in. That lock wasn't lining up with the cutout in the track. So instead of moving it, they just cocked it on an extreme angle, and it barely makes it. And I really got to step on this right here with my foot and force the seal, squash the garage seal, the door seal, squash that really hard so the lock will barely catch. And then it's on an angle. If somebody was really to pull and jiggle on this door, they might get this lock to slip out of this cutout hole enough to where they can get the door open. And they only put one lock on. It's a 12-foot wide door, you think there'd be two locks on it. I guess I'll have to go get myself a couple of locks, put them on right, maybe get another step for the other side. Pay people to do things and just gotta correct stuff. And then I just noticed there's a handle way the heck up there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 panels up. I didn't even know it was there. What the heck? That handle is about eye level for me, and I'm 6'4". What the heck is the purpose of the handle being way up there? There's not one over there. I bet they put it on the wrong panel and they just left it. It's probably supposed to be down here on this panel, or even on that panel below the lock. Jeez. Okay, so I contacted the guy who put in the overhead door, and he came out the very next morning, early in the morning, and straightened out the lock. Put another lock on the other side. And he put a handle on this side, 4 panels up, just like the other side. But no step. So I guess the handle way up there is you're supposed to push the door down. Grab this handle as it's coming down and shove it down. And then lock it.
Push and pull, you don't have to just pull. All I do. Do this part?
Yeah, I can't feel it. Water going in your face.
I'm going to look sturdy. Stop. from here down to about there again. This fuse right here.
I did get this other side sealed over here as much as I'm gonna seal it. The ground's not gonna be too high over here, so that's why it's cut on an angle down there, down to where there's a little curb that's poured with the floor at that far end there, so no sense sealing that. It's one pour. But we did get some rain today, and there was a puddle back here. So I think what I mentioned about the French drain, in addition to the gutters running down into some drain pipe, have a French drain out here, or some perforated pipe running around the foundation. And Bob's your uncle.